What's up, my crypto legends? The Bitcoin halving is 8 months away, and in this episode, I'm going to explain why I personally think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin at the 15.5k level. We're also talking about yesterday's trade setup that I shared in a private live stream with the Legends trading community, which is basically this area right over here, why we shorted at this level, and also we'll be analyzing the next potential levels in today's episode, guys, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. Let's dive in here. This is the Bitcoin chart on the logarithmic on the weekly time frame. Before we continue with my personal opinion about the halving, the bottom, what could happen in the next coming months, I want to let you know the World Series of Trading competition. This is the biggest crypto trading competition that there is. It is starting on the 7th of August. You still have time for registration to join my team. We're already 233 people. Now, we are going to absolutely crush it this year. We're going to try and get a piece of the cake of the $8 million Tether prize pool, guys. Make sure to join my team if you already have a Bybit account. You don't have a Bybit account, make sure to register with the link down below where you do have an insane bonus of up to $30,000 worth of bonus, depending on what you deposit, okay? Down below, you do have the link here. It's the second link. First link is to join directly my team. We're going to absolutely crush it this year, guys. I'm really excited for this competition. Now let's go right away with the logarithmic chart here for Bitcoin, explaining the halvings, right? These vertical white lines here we do have is the halvings that have happened in the past, 2016 in July, also here in May of 2020. The next one is in between April and May of 2024. We're just about 8 months away from the halving event. So we could see a little bit of volatility down, up, all right? But overall, I think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. And a brief explanation for this is basically on the latest cycles, what we could see here from the all-time high in 2013 in November, from the all-time high to the bottom, it was 13 months of bear market. And on the next cycle here, from the top in December of 2017 to the bottom, it was 12 months of bear market. We do see the latest cycle with the one that we are in right now, of course, the bear market from the all-time high here in November of 2021, the bottom is in November of 2022. This is 12 months. So in between 12 and 13 months is usually what we see as a bear market in the price of Bitcoin. So far, it is happening this year as well. The bottom here, we do have 15.5k in November of 2022. And I'm going to explain, of course, why I do think that there will be no time in the coming months to actually break beneath $15,000. It is very, very likely. If that event were to happen, if we get bearish price action, hey, the halving will be only months away. And of course, after the halving, the Bitcoin supply, the mining is cut in half. And of course, we're just going to see a very likely bullish reaction after months after the halving, okay? Because this is what basically happened. It is basic supply and demand. And what we can see here after the halving on the latest cycles, we entered a huge, massive bull market, all right? So yes, we could see a few months of bearish action, okay? We did have the C19 back in 2020, back in March of 2020, as you can see right there, it was a black swan event. Could we see a black swan event here during the next coming months? It is definitely a possibility. So it could happen, right? It could happen. Overall, I think dropping successfully beneath $15,000, which was the low here in November of 2022, is very unlikely. I mean, this is not going to happen in 1 or 2 weeks. So, if this does happen in the coming months, it's going to be a very rare event and it's going to be a golden opportunity to buy Bitcoin beneath $15,000. It's just, I think it's something that is not going to happen. If that does happen, I can already tell you there are going to be whales and a huge amount of millionaires out there that want Bitcoin beneath $15,000. So it's probably not going to happen. Okay, let's just be realistic with that. Of course, Bitcoin to 20K, to $18,000. It could happen, no doubt. I will be definitely buying some Bitcoin at those levels. And if it goes lower, even more. Just being realistic here, we can see already that we've had a brutal bear market. The price of Bitcoin has already gone down over 80% from its all-time high. So that is a brutal bear market. I know a lot of people are bearish. They want lower prices. This time is different. Well, the halving is not different. The halving is cutting the supply from the miners in half, and that is what it is, all right? So no doubt that this will have a bullish effect like the previous cycles. After the halving, you enter a massive bull run months after this event, okay? Which is something that we just need to see as a reality. So Bitcoin here, below $30,000, below $20,000 is an absolute steal. So no doubt that this zone over here is definitely still an accumulation zone. If we were to drop beneath $15,000, which I think is a very unlikely event, if it does happen, it's going to be very, very fast. Just like we did see here back in 2020. This event happened just in a matter of a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks after this massive crash, the recovery was insane, okay? As you can see, just months after that event, we entered a massive bull market. So we just need to be on the sidelines as well, just to have some spare stable coins or cash on the sidelines, just in case there is going to be an event like this, because the price could pump and then see a massive crash with a black swan or whatever, recession. We've been screaming recession for years now. But if that does happen, no doubt it will be a golden opportunity. Not much more to say, guys. I think it's unlikely that we are going to dip below $15,000. If that does happen, it's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. But overall, I think that it will not happen. We're just 8 months away from the halving, okay? We need to see that drop beneath the halving, because once the halving happens, I don't think, the price will be dropping much. It's likely to enter a massive bull market, okay? This event is happening between April and May of 2024. Before that period, it's good for accumulation, especially if we're beneath the all-time high, right? All-time high is likely to be broken after the halving event, whether that takes months or a couple of years. Let's dive in here right away through the trading setup that we talked about on yesterday's private live stream for the Legends community. This was the trading setup, talking about the 29,400, 450 range, where we were likely going to get that rejection here. We're looking for lower, but overall, we are already taking profits from the drop that has happened. Let me just explain this day trade that we talked about in the Legends community. Of course, on YouTube, we talk about levels, higher levels for swing trades, maybe day trades as well. But overall, in the Legends trading community, we are looking more for those day trades inside of the zone, as you can see here. This exact short position from 29,450 zone is this right over here. This is where we shorted. I am still in that short position, already taking some profits, as you can see here on the chart, shorting from that level in a long, in a short. I'm basically hedging here and doing a lot of day trading. So if you want that information of scalp and day trades events, you want to join the Legends trading community, of course, here on YouTube. It's very difficult to, give that information for scalp day trade scenarios. The Legends trading community is down below in the description. You can see that link over there if you do want to join here, a very profitable community. Now, dive in here on that scenario. Why was this a good short position? Well, basically, we were having some bearish CVD divergence. Of course, we were creating those higher lows, all right? We were creating those lower highs here on the price action, as you can see, and higher highs on the CVD, meaning that there's a lot of buy market orders, okay, at this event. And of course, they are getting absorbed from larger players, limit orders, and that, of course, is going to bring a massive push to the downside with high probability. But we can not only just trade based on CVD, we need to analyze the situation. What we did have here is a Gartley pattern. Of course, we had here from this pivot high to the low right there, we can see a Gartley pattern formation. It was a little bit overextended with the volatility, but overall the stop loss was above the X point. Not only that, we had a naked point of control from this consolidation that we had here the last few days. This consolidation, when we do take a look at the session volume profile, we can see that spike here of a high volume node right there. This was insane resistance, as you can see with the Gartley and the bearish CVD. This was a great shorting opportunity. And yes, of course, we're profiting here from this event here that we talked about on yesterday's private live stream for the Legends community. Now, yes, okay, this was a profitable trade. I just want to share with you what is happening in the Legends group, all right, on Discord. You know the deal. If you want to join there for more daily updates and more scalp day trade scenarios, you want to join the Legends community. Now for YouTube, what are the next levels? Not much has changed from the levels that we talked about on yesterday's video update, okay? On the higher time frame, there is a possibility here of the price of Bitcoin entering a massive recovery. Why? It's kind of forming a descending wedge scenario. When we do take a look at the volume is dropping insanely, as you can see here. And when you break such a big major support zone, which is the value area low here from this trading zone, as you can see here, when you break through, you want a capitulation. You want the price to drop very aggressively, not while the volume is going down. You want to see a large spike in volume as you're breaking down. If volume is going lower and lower as we move down, I can say to you already that there is a high chance of a recovery, especially when you're forming this kind of descending wedge scenario. Now, like I said, I want to see massive volume and breakdown here and a capitulation. Right, this consolidation is just telling me, hey, we are likely to see a recovery on Bitcoin. It's just very, very possible. There is some resistance levels that we need to break. A sign of strength, of course, would be not only breaking here this lower high resistance trend line from this kind of descending wedge scenario, because this breakout could have very low volume, okay? If we do have low volume here on the breakout, then of course it could be a fake out and we could come all the way back down. We need to pay attention to the volume to see, hey, is this convincing? You know, are we longing? Are we shorting? Well, of course, this is something that we're analyzing daily in the Legends community to see where the opportunities are and how we can have good risk management. I cannot tell you, I do not know the power that the price of Bitcoin is going to have here, all right, on this potential breakout. There is a lot of resistance here in between the value area low, okay, and a new daily level that we printed a few days ago here that hasn't been tapped at $30,070. Now, a sign of strength here clearly would be getting above the value area low. If we do manage to get above value area low here and a very nice recovery with high volume, I can tell you already where we are likely to see a recovery in the next coming weeks, going to the highs, creating a potential new yearly high. However, if we do break out here with low volume and get choppy, of course, this is going to be a massive bearish sign. We'll be paying close attention to see if we do get a trading opportunity on this price action. Not much more here to the upside. We need an explosive breakout with high volume to confirm that we are likely going to go to higher levels. High volume breakout will mean, and large price action, of course, will mean that we are likely creating higher lows and we're going to higher levels. Poor price action to the upside with very low volume will mean, hey, this is likely going to be a fake out and we're potentially looking for shorts. So we're going to be very careful on what kind of price action we do have. On the other side, what happens if the price does not recover from here? Well, of course, those levels that we talked about on yesterday's video, the lows here to be tested. Are we going to successfully break down or create a double bottom? This is something that we are paying attention here in the Legends community. So it also could be just a fake out, a liquidity grab, and then we are recovering. So we are very much aware of fake outs to the downside. A fake out, how to detect them is low volume, okay, and also having a recovery above the low. That is what we're looking for here in the next coming days if we were to break down. If the breakdown is solid, then I do think that the 618 Fibonacci from this consolidation to the pivot high, also with these resistance, should get a reaction, and the reaction here, depending on what kind of price action is created, it will be a good long or it will be just be on the sidelines for lower levels if the volume is going to be insanely high, okay? This is how basically we read the market, look at the volume, look at the reaction, the price action to take those decisions. Like I said, this is the interest zone that I am looking at here with the Legends. We do not really know till we see the breakout. Once we see the breakout, we'll be careful with the kind of price action and volume to take that decision. Is it a recovery? Is it a sign of strength? Or is it a fake out and it's going to get weak depending on that price action? Okay, guys, just a brief explanation on how I'm reading the chart here, because it could, you know, Bitcoin does get a lot of fake outs and we need to be very, very careful, okay? So I cannot just say randomly, hey, we break out here, this is a long position, or because it all depends on the price action and volume. Or if we break down here, this is going to be bearish. No, it can be a fake out, okay? So pay attention with the volume and the sign of recovery here, because that could be a potential long if we hit this zone and the volume is very low. Like I said, it can be a fake out, and this is going to have a massive crash, days after that event. Or high volume, then this will be looking pretty solid. And yes, guys, we're likely to go higher. So we are going to be looking for some long positions here on the retracements on that massive move. Not much more to be said, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.